All right, guys, this is LennyDoesIT, and welcome back to the Nornir Network Automation course. I'm going to get started here and show you our first runbook that we're going to send a show version command to our topology. You can see here I have my Ubuntu box that we talked about last time. That's where I'm doing my development. And this EVEN-G server, which is where we have the network devices. In this case, we're using the Arista VEOS routers. Let me show you what that looks like really quick. So here's the Ubuntu box. And then here's the EVEN-G VM, but we're going to go ahead and use the browser to look at our topology. So you can see here, my home router is 192.168.1.254, and I've got R1 at 192.168.1.22, R2 at 192.168.1.23, and R3 over here at 192.168.1.24. And of course, my Ubuntu box is at 192.168.1.21, but it's not listed here in the topology. So I'm just going to show you one of the consoles of these guys right here. So this is R1. I'm going to log back in. We're going to log in with admin and give it an enable. I'm going to do a show run. I'm going to show you here that, of course, it's running on VEOS. As I mentioned, it's not a Cisco router, it's Arista. And then here's where the admin user is created. Pretty simple config. I got some metconf and brestconf commands in here from another lab I was doing. And then here's the Ethernet interfaces. Down here at the management, you'll see the 192.168.1.22, and we have our default route out to the home router. But this is not where we're going to do our configuration from. What we're going to do is launch Visual Studio Code. Now, Visual Studio Code has the remote SSH extension, so you can see here it's setting up the SSH host of 192.168.1.21, and it's asking for my password for the Ubuntu box. Just type it in correctly, and then this will set up. Let me just give you a quick tour of the YAML files for Nornir. So the config.yaml file shows the plugin as simple inventory, shows where our host file is located, shows where our group file and our default file is located. They're all in the same folder, so we don't have to type out the full path. We can list the number of runners that we want. So how many simultaneous runners we want to send out to either command or configure each device. So in this case, we have 10. This is totally adjustable. You can change that to 9 if we wanted. So let's look over at defaults. I don't have anything in defaults right now. Of course, there's plenty you could add there. Groups, I have the Euro group and the USA group. So in future videos, I may go ahead and divvy these up based on some fictitious regions. And then on to the hosts, as you saw in our topology here, let me just snap this to the left and so you can see both. And then go ahead and snap this guy to the right. And you can see here we have 192.168.1.22 here, 23 here, 24 down here. And we have them all, actually, 2 of them on top are part of the Euro group, and the R3 is a part of the USA group. So if we wanted to change any parameters, such as different passwords or different NTB servers for different routers based upon which region they're in, we could change this information within the groups file. And then, of course, having R1 as a part of a group called Euro group, it would then find the information in here. But right now they're all using admin. We just want to do a simple first runbook. So right now, I'm going to show you on the terminal at the bottom here. Just going to go ahead and clear all this out. I'm going to give it an LS. And you can see I have many runbooks in here, all the way up to 17, I believe. And I have runbook 1 that I've already created. But let's go ahead and create a new one. So let's go up here to File. I'm going to go to New File. We're going to call it Runbook 18. And we're going to store it in the same folder with automation because, if we want to be able to reference these, it's just easier to have it in the same folder. We'll press OK. And then that new file is created. Now, since I named it .py, it knows that it's a Python file. But to get started, we are going to do what we do on every Nornir Runbook, which is to do from Nornir, import, init Nornir. And you can see I've got the autocomplete up here, which makes it really handy. From Nornir. Then we're going to go to Scrapli. Dot tasks, import, send command. Now, I want you to look at this drop down right here. If we were to send multiple commands, we would choose send commands. If we were to send multiple commands from a file, like a text file, we could do it from file. And then if we wanted to send configs, like if we wanted to actually make configuration changes at the configuration level, we would use these down here. And then interactive, of course, is if you have like a menu option or if it's expecting feedback or, multiple lines is my understanding. But in this case, we're going to start off with command. Hit enter. And then finally, our import is from Nornir. Utils. Dot plugins. Dot functions. We're going to import print results or print result. Now we have all of our modules imported. We're now going to create the NR, which is init Nornir. So you can see up here, we have init Nornir. We're now going to assign it to this NR. And then config file equals config.yaml. Great. Now we're ready to get on with sending our command. So let's name results equals nr.run. So you see here we have nr. We're going to run it. And then we are going to do a task. We are going to send command. You can see here, send command. And then comma. Command equals show version. You can change this to any command you would please, but in this instance, we're going to do the show command or show version. Then after you've sent the command, you have to tell the runbook what you want it to do. Do you want to send it to a file? Do you want to do something else with it? In this case, we're going to print the results to our screen. I'm going to print results. Great. So let's go ahead and see if this works. Let's go ahead and file save it. LS. All right, there's runbook 18. So Python 3. .py. Runbook 18.py. Let's make this a little bigger before I hit enter. And then let's let it run. Let's see what happens. All right. So here's the results we have. So Sent the command and were any changes made? False. You can see right here the output of show version for R1, R2, and R3. Let's go ahead and compare what that would look like on the console itself. And since we have access to it right here, why not? All right. So here we are. R1 show version, R1 show version. This is LennyDoesIT, and I want to thank you for watching.